In modern retellings, the Frog Prince feels harmless. A spoiled princess drops her golden ball. A frog retrieves it. A kiss transforms him into a prince. It is framed as a story about love breaking enchantment, about looking beyond appearances, about kindness rewarded. But that is not how the story began. In the earliest version of The Frog Prince, recorded by the Brothers Grimm in 1812, there is no romantic kiss, there is no tender awakening, there is disgust, there is coercion, there is a promise made under pressure, and the princess tries desperately to escape it. The frog does not ask for love, he demands compliance, and the king, her father, forces her to honour her word. This story was not written to celebrate romance, it was written to enforce obedience. This fairy tale was never meant to be sweet. It was meant to teach children that promises bind, even when they feel unfair. This story was never meant to be kind. The Frog Prince emerged from German oral tradition and was formalized by the Brothers Grimm in the early 19th century. The Grimms were not inventing fantasy, they were collecting cultural instruction, stories that rural families had used for generations to prepare children for adult life. Early 19th century Europe was rigidly hierarchical. Authority was paternal. Promises were binding. Social contracts were not symbolic. They determined survival. In that world, your word was currency. Reputation was not abstract. If you broke your word, you risked exclusion. And exclusion, in small communities, could mean starvation. The fairy tale reflects that reality precisely. The princess drops her golden ball into a well, a symbol of wealth and status slipping beyond her control. She weeps, not from moral regret, but from loss of comfort. The frog appears not as magic, but as a negotiator. He offers labour, retrieving the ball, in exchange for companionship. She agrees casually. She assumes she can break her word. That assumption is the true conflict of the story. The core fear in The Frog Prince is not transformation, it is obligation. Children, especially daughters in traditional societies, did not have the luxury of selective agreement. Marriage, alliances, and labour arrangements were often decided by others. A promise made, even lightly, could bind an entire household. The princess believes she can speak without consequence. The story exists to correct that belief. When the frog arrives at the palace and reminds her of her promise, she recoils. She tries to hide. She begs her father to intervene. But the king does not rescue her. Instead, he says, "What you have promised, you must keep." This is the axis of the tale. The fear addressed here is simple. What happens when you say yes and then regret it? The story answers without comfort. You live with it. If you like this video, please subscribe. We want to hit 100 subscribers this week. Now let's move on with the video. The symbolism of the frog is direct and unsettling. Frogs are liminal creatures. They live in water and on land. They are associated with transformation, fertility, and the crossing of boundaries. But in the story, the frog is not mysterious. He is repulsive. He demands to sit at the table, to eat from her plate, to sleep in her bed. These are acts of enforced intimacy. The golden ball, often overlooked, represents childhood. It is round, perfect, and controlled. When it falls into the well, it signals the end of sheltered innocence. The well itself stands for depth, consequence, and adulthood. The princess's disgust is not framed as irrational, it is human. But the story does not allow disgust to override duty. And this is critical. The transformation of the frog into a prince does not occur because she loves him. In the grim version, it happens when she throws him against the wall in anger. Transformation comes through confrontation, not tenderness. The message is not that love changes ugliness, it is that commitment changes perception. So what behaviour does this tale enforce? It teaches children, particularly girls, that words matter. It discourages impulsive promises. It discourages casual agreements. It reinforces paternal authority. The king's role is not decorative. He is the embodiment of law. When he compels his daughter to honour her word, he reinforces the structure that governs society. Promises create obligation regardless of emotion. The fairy tale prepares children for a world where feelings do not nullify contracts. It also prepares them for arranged marriage logic. A stranger may seem unpleasant, a future may feel unwanted, but compliance sustains order. This is not romantic, it is pragmatic. The discomfort children feel hearing the story is intentional. It trains endurance. Modern versions transform the story dramatically. The princess kisses the frog willingly. The disgust is softened. The coercion disappears. The moral shifts toward compassion and open-mindedness. But this change reflects a shift in society. As Western cultures move toward individualism and romantic marriage, the idea that a child must submit to an unwanted obligation became uncomfortable. The story had to be reshaped. The kiss replaces the king's command. Love replaces duty. Choice replaces enforcement. Yet the skeleton of the tale remains visible. A promise, a demand, a transformation earned through discomfort. The original version did not promise happiness, it promised stability. The Frog Prince endures because promises still bind. Even in modern societies that celebrate freedom, contracts structure our lives. Agreements define relationships. Words carry consequences. Children must eventually learn that speech is not weightless. The fairy tale does not villainize the frog, nor does it glorify the princess. It stages a collision between impulse and responsibility. The transformation at the end is symbolic of something far more grounded than magic. It suggests that what initially repels us can become tolerable, even valuable, once we accept its necessity. But there is an uncomfortable truth beneath this lesson. The story does not ask whether the promise was fair. It does not question whether the child should have been bound. It only asserts that once given, a word must be honoured. This is why the story can feel severe, because it does not prioritise comfort, it prioritises order. And order, in the societies that told this tale, was survival. The frog becomes a prince not because he was misunderstood, but because the princess fulfilled her obligation. Transformation follows compliance. That is the unsettling logic. The fairy tale teaches that adulthood begins the moment your words carry weight. It teaches that disgust does not dissolve duty. And it quietly suggests that maturity requires endurance, not enchantment. This is not a love story. It is a contract story. And like all contracts, it begins with a signature few fully understand. Fade to black. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. We want to hit 5,000 subscribers this week. Thanks for watching. I see you tomorrow.